Thanks again. Dispensing of spectacles. So we will discuss to be a pair of specs to be right. There are so many things. It's not. I will discuss one by one. The first one is the prescription. The second is to choose the best frame, and then we have to decide on the lenses that we use depending on the so many lenses available in the market. So then we have to take the measurements, then we have to grind the lens, we have to make the lens the blank, and then we have to fit the lens into the frame, and then we have to give few instructions on dispensing, and then after sale service, and some selling of the accessories. So although it looks a very little thing, but there are a lot of things going behind the complaint free happy customer for a good spectacle. So if you look at the first one is the prescription. So the glasses are usually done by the dispensing opticians. Dispensing optician is another sub area where it has developed over last few years. They have 1 year program on doing dispensing optician, and then the prescriptions comes from ophthalmic assistants, ophthalmic technologists, or an optometrist, from an eye surgeon. So the dispensing optician is trained to read the prescription and see whether if there is any discrepancy, or when we give this. So the dispensing optician is always looking at, when we give these glasses, whether the patient is will be benefited from giving this glasses. After making the glasses, he will not complain. So to do that, I will now in the prescription, it's only the numbers that we look at, but there are other areas where we have to look into to do a proper dispensing. And if you look at, I'll give you a few examples on the prescription where the dispensing optician will look at. If they get for a prescription first time for the 7 and 750 myopia, are we going to give the full correction? If the pediatric ophthalmologist or a doctor gives a prescription, we have to go for the same thing, but it like giving the full correction for the first time will make problems. So we have to keep it in mind at the start. Now even the plus lenses, usually you give the full correction, and if it is coming from where we have to be careful. So always the dispensing optician will look at the prescription. Now the common cases, there are two cases below. In this one, the patient will have what is wearing is plus 150 for reading, and where here is 2.75 and 2.5. So at once, if you increase 150, so you have to forewarn the patient, at least forewarn the patient, there will be reading distance will come closer, otherwise you will have problems. So this, like after giving the glasses, if the patient says, no, I can't see now at my arm's length, now it is coming closer, so they will say that you have made a mistake, now you are telling me to get out of the problem. So these kind of things, the dispensing optician has to tell in advance what is expected from the prescription. Now if it is a simple plano addition 1, so you have to discuss with the patient what you want reading glasses. So the first point is the interpretation of the prescription. Then we have to go and choose the right frame. So when you choose the frame, so the frame and its measurements. So frame has numbers of 52, 48, and like that. So you have to have a rough idea of what sort of a frame that you are going to give. And then look at three things that we are looking at when we describe the frame: the type, the size, and the shape. So the style. So there are different styles of frames that will it's a patient's choice, if it is a fashion or availability, whatever the style. And then these are some of the designs that we have, and then the size, the right size for the patient. So if you have to choose the right size, sometimes we see too big frames, too small frames for the face, and then it's not only look odd on the face, but at the same time, so fitting of the success on the vision will be not very good if you don't choose the right frame. So the shape, so different kinds of facial things, and then the nose, very much on the nose, the size of the frame, choosing the frame is also an art. You have to balance the optics of the prescription to the fashion and fitting. So these are few guidelines that we have on fitting the lenses. So when it comes to one example is when it comes to a lens size, the thickness or the square frames has more content, need more content of the lens, so it will be heavier, and you have to do a bigger lens. And then the round or oval shaped lens will have a smaller size of lens, and then the less content of the lens material in the frame, so it will be lighter and better. So it's not always the case, it's depending on the fashion also, so we have some limitations there. So the other thing is the centration. We have to make sure that if the frame doesn't center proper, so this thing happens where if it is if we have to decenter the center, so you have a thicker lens in the frame. So if we have a proper center, so the lens will be thinner. And then the lens selecting of the lens is the fourth thing. So there are so many lens the material, the design, style, and the treatment, the coating and stuff like that. We have to talk about or think about all of these things when we decide on the lens. So there are so many lens materials. These are the old glass material. So when we talk about the lens, we always talk about this Abbé value. Is the value that the quality of the lenses. Higher the Abbé value, the better the lens is. Now all of these materials we have, the plastic which is CR39, Trivax, polycarbonate, these high index materials that we have in different names. So this has the different refractive indices and different Abbé values. So these are the lens thicknesses. The same power will have different thicknesses in the material. Higher the index, better the thickness. But then the lens design, what we call is the best form. If you want to make a -3 lens, you can have a 3 base, what you call 3 and plano. So or 6 and -3. So there are different ways that we can make lens. So the best form is it's a computer generated, and the same lens you can make thinner by changing the base curve. So then there are lens styles. So single vision, bifocals, and multifocals. So then we have the treatments, the tinting, the tints, coatings, hard coatings, different kinds of multi-coatings available now. So these are anti-reflection coatings. So now here you see the reduced transparency, reduced transmission. So the biggest thing in the multi-coating is it improves the transmission. So number of light passing through the lens is very much higher. So that is the biggest advantage in the multi-coating. So now the next is the transparency of the light. So if with the CR39 lens reflect 7.8%. Now any glasses reduce the light entering through the lens to the eye. So higher the index, it reduces the light entering to the eye. So although the high index lenses are good for thickness, cosmetic reasons, but the light transparency is not very good. So it is important so to keep this in mind. Sometimes the patient having a thicker lens and complaining that I have a thin lens but I can't see in the low light conditions or something like that is because of the transparency. So the main purpose of coating is to reduce the disturbing reflection and improve the transparency. So the next is to taking the measurements. We take the proper measurements to do the lens. So how we do that is pupillary distance is very important. So we take the pupillary distance with there are so many ways that you do it. The simple ruler, sometimes our autorefractors or the autorefractor keratometers will give the reading there, but it usually rechecked by the second method of a PD ruler or a PD meter, or there are so many gadgets, electronic gadgets, that you check the PD now. From a basic iPad can be used to take the PD nowadays. So we usually do 2 readings. So then the fitting height, if it is even for the single vision lens, we measure the height. So the ideal for a optical frame is the optical center 1/3 to the up and 2/3 below is the ideal fitting for a single vision or a multifocal lens. So taking the fitting height is very, very important. There also you have so many gadgets to check the fitting. It can be done in a simple PD ruler also. So we have to now see adjustment of the frame has to be done before fitting the lenses. So before taking the measurement, now look at these little things here. So when you see a frame, those frames are like this, but it has to be ideally this way. So these are little things that this is the alignment. Right? This is what is called a face form. So the frame has to have a face form. So we look at your vision is better on the sides if you have a face form. It's like a slightly curved. So the sport frames has more curve. So the flatter the lens, your visual field will be less and the aberrations will be more. So and this is little bit of the extreme picture. So this one is not good at all. It's not flat, the other way around. So this is called a pantoscopic tilt. So our work is not flat, like straight. So we are always a little bit down to earth. So you put your face down, so there's a little bit of an angle there. So all those things are important in dispensing glasses. So then the arm. So I have seen some, so you have a long arm, so after getting the glasses, it's coming down all the time. So if you look at it before doing the glasses, it will be good. So and the pressure on the ear. So it has to be fitted on the ear. Otherwise, after giving the glasses, if they come and complain, so you are going to correct this. The patient will feel that there is something wrong. Now they are going to correct themselves now. So these are a little bit of a summary. then we have to make the lens, and make the lens out of a piece of plastic or piece of glass, and then fit into a frame. So I hope that you have seen the blocks of plastic. It's like a බෝතලයක අඩියක් වගේ ඒ ප්ලාස්ටික් කෑල්ලකින් තමයි අපි තුනී පොඩි ලෙන්ස් එකක් හදන්නේ. ඒකෙදී මේ ස්ටෙප්ස් අපි අනුගමනය කරනවා. ඉතින්ලම අවශ්‍ය raw material එක හොයාගෙන ඒකෙන් ඒකේ ඉඳක් වෙලාවට we have a finish of finish lens. So straight away we can go for fitting. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඊළඟට අපිට ඒක grind කරන්න වෙනවා. සර්ෆස් කරන්න වෙනවා ලෙන්ස් එක. ඊළඟට අපිට හાર્ඩ් කෝට් කරන්න වෙනවා, මල්ටි කෝට් කරන්න වෙනවා, ඊට පස්සේ ලෙන්ස් එක එජ් කරන්න වෙනවා. මේ හැම process එකක්ම මේ process set එකට පස්සේ තමයි ලෙන්ස් එක හැදෙන්නේ. දැන් ලෙන්ස් එකක් හදනකොට මේ ලෙන්ස් එක අපි ළඟට එන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා අඩුම ගානේ මිනිස්සු 20ක් හරහාවත් මේක යන්න ඕනේ. If it is not a finished lens, එහෙම grind කරන lens එකක් වුණොත් it's a very big process. It takes time, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 1 week. So if you look at this thing, you take the lens and then you block the lens for block කරනවා කියලා එකක් කරනවා. ඒ ප්ලාස්ටික් කෑල්ල හයි කරගන්නවා බ්ලොක් එකකට. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක මැෂින් එකක් හරහා සර්ෆස් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ටින්ට් කරන්න උනොත් ටින්ට් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ හાર્ඩ් කෝට් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි මල්ටි කෝට් කරන්නේ. මේක ටිකක් longer process and very expensive and very sophisticated process. Then we have to edge and mounting, which we say the right word for edging and mounting is glazing the lenses. And then the final quality is done through a video screens where you to see the scratches and stuff like that. After that only the lens is dispatched. So this part, the fifth part is the lens process, which is little bit out of control of the dispensing optician, but if it is very important to have a proper lens. The next point is the dispensing and delivering the glasses. So you do the quality check and see whether everything is done properly before giving to the customer, and complete the adjustments and all that. And here it is very important, like a person who is wearing for the multifocal for the first time, so we have to explain to him to walk and see, read, go to a step and all that on the day that you are giving the glasses. So otherwise you give just glasses and they walk off, they come back and say I fell on the stairs or something like that, will be a big problem. And if a patient is going for -1, now you are giving -2, so you have to explain that your reading will be little difficult, otherwise they think there is something wrong with the glasses. So things like, now that's a simple example, but you have to spend little time on the day that give the glasses to the patient in advance. There are advantages, all these will have advantages, and at the same time these are the disadvantages that you have, otherwise they will start complaining. The final thing is the after sale service. So the once in 3-4 months they have to come and change their nose pads if they have nose pads. All these things the has to be looked after by the dispensing optician. So if we do all that, only we have a pair of glasses proper. So if we don't look at like, this is a very important thing, just like our refraction, it's the dispensing is also important. So attention to detail has to be plus. So if you can do 100% of this, you have a very satisfied customer. If you do 80% or 90%, the chances of complaining is more. So you have to go through all this, like if you have a ISO certification or something, so you have to go through all these things to have a happy customer when it comes to the dispensing. And finally, the other accessories, little things like sunglasses, swimming goggles, prescription swimming goggles, safety glasses, and things that chains and clips and stuff like that, lot of things. That's also a dispensing optician's part. The mainly for the like what is the thing is like if the patient comes and complain to the doctors, that any of this, it can't be only the prescription, maybe the frame, maybe the this, all that can go wrong. So if complaint comes to us, we will look at A to Z, the whole thing, before saying that you're okay. So and even that, doing all that, there can be 1%, like 1% to 2% problems will be there. So I think that's very simply and quickly the dispensing of glasses. Thank you. And